Philia, Storge, Ludos, Eros, Pragma, Agape, and Philutia. These are the 7 types of love generally associated to have originated from ancient Greek culture, and yet modern pop culture seems to be more obsessed with the types of love focused solely around romance, attraction, sexuality, and eroticism. And film isn't any different. Throughout history, there has been a vast display of romance and love in movies, TV shows, and even in video games. But that's all been talked about many, many times before. Today, I want to explore love as it is less commonly noticed. I want to talk about love beyond just romance, desire, and sexuality. Because love is something that takes a big part of our lives in so many different forms, whether we know it or not, and especially as we as human beings are growing up and learning more about ourselves. And there's a movie that perfectly encapsulates this idea. Today, I want to talk about love as it is expressed in the coming-of-age movie, Lady Bird, a non-romantic love movie. First of all, what is a coming-of-age movie? Well, Studio Binder defines the genre as a film centered around the themes of youth, growing up, and maturation with a strong focus on a central character arc. These films follow a single protagonist as they come of age, meaning they progress into the next stage of their life. In Lady Bird, writer and director Greta Gerwig tells the story of Christine McPherson as she navigates her last year at Immaculate Heart of Mary Catholic High School in sunny Sacramento, California. In the film, Christine is a restless and agitated character who never really feels like she fits in. Throughout the film, we follow her on many adventures and misadventures as she tries to reinforce her sense of self and others' perception of her. At first, she seeks the affections of the handsome and popular play lead Danny, and after the two get together, they embark on a heartwarming, fun, and thrilling exploration of what it means to be a couple.
Let's name our star Claude.
That's pretentious, don't you think?
It's French. What should we name it?
Bruce.
I love you!
I love you.
Greta Gerwig does a brilliant job of expressing Ludos here, or playful love, most commonly found in young lovers, and is reminiscent of one's first middle school or high school relationship. When you first tell the person that you like them, and they say it back. But iconically, there's a lack of eroticism in the mix.
You know, you can touch my boobs, right?
I know. It's just that I respect you too much for that.
Cool. Awesome. I totally get that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
If you had boobs, I wouldn't touch them either.
I respect you so much.
Lady Bird and Danny's love seem reminiscent of a love as it is imagined and idealized, love as a pure and innocent force, completely separate from sexuality. Eventually that comes to pass in a unfortunate discovery, and Lady Bird eventually finds her eye on Kyle, the cool and popular drummer boy in town. I think the script, also written by Greta Gerwig, describes this part the best. Lady Bird spends an extra long time looking at this Kyle. She feels deeply attracted to him. She looks at Danny. She loves him, yes. But there is something else going on with Kyle. She's not sure. Maybe it's the pot. Maybe not. Remember Kyle. Lady Bird will. Lady Bird's relationship with Kyle is unmistakably associated with Eros, or erotic love. It's distinctly made clear several times over the film how Lady Bird is sexually attracted to him, and later on in the film, even when they get together, it's clear how the relationship is purely sexual, whether Lady Bird wants it to be or not. But why am I talking about Lady Bird's romantic relationships when I'm trying to make the point that Lady Bird is a non-romantic love movie? Right now, it seems that Lady Bird is only focused on romance. And in a way it is, but it isn't. See, Lady Bird's arc throughout the film is one of self-exploration. She doesn't like who she is, so she tries to do things that she thinks would make her better perceived by her community. She dates the popular play lead, then the cool drummer boy, and among other things becomes friends with the most popular girl at school, all while pushing away her friends, her family, and her sense of self. The movie revolves around the idea that if she becomes popular, fits in, or is admired, then maybe she would finally be able to accept herself. And that is the grand subtext in a movie so full of Ludos and Eros. A movie with a multitude of romance and eroticism isn't really about either at all. In fact, we see the other forms of love appearing prominently in Lady Bird. She has a strong and genuine relationship with her best friend Julie, Philia.
Some people aren't built happy, you know.
We see Pragma and Storge in her parents and Lady Bird's difficult and yet deep connection with her mother.
I wish that you liked me.
Of course I love you.
But do you like me?
And when she drives around Sacramento, we see her enjoying the view, the buildings, the trees, the skyline. We see her sense of universal love, agape. And yet, because Lady Bird takes them for granted, we as the audience do as well. Lady Bird, at its core, is a story of philautia, or self-love, or the lack thereof it. Lady Bird's journey as she explores her hatred for her sense of self, pushing away her family and friends and city, is reflective of how she feels on the inside. Her seeking out of romantic and sexual relationships is imminent of her desire to feel wanted and valued, mirroring her lack thereof in how she feels about herself. In the end, I think Lady Bird might just be a movie about romance, but it is also about so much more. It is a movie about friends, about family, a movie about a love for the world, for the city in which one grew up in. But most importantly, it's a movie about the love a high school senior attending a Catholic private high school in Sacramento discovers for herself.